That's so cheeky, I love it.
Thanks, bro.
That was fucking cool, dude. GG.
The idea behind mast jumping is to escape the enemy and get to an area they would never expect. You might need to heal, get a new perspective. You could all be found right up there on that mast, right up there at the top. And it's very, very easy to do. So apparently, this is a sacred Mongolian secret that has been passed down orally for generations. So make sure you keep them in mind and have a strong reverence for the history and culture. If you don't do this, you're definitely going to fall off every time you try it. So when it comes to the sloop, you've only got one mast. This is the easiest one to keep in mind. At any moment, you're almost guaranteed to be able to stand on this mast and run across pretty much its entire surface. It's easy to activate this in a split second. If you're under the mast, just jump and grab the ladder like this. If you're by the wheel, it's also pretty easy to just jump straight from here to land on the mast, and from there you're good. Or if you even catch the mast after a cannon shot, that's also a simple way to get up on the mast. When you're on the mast, a smart idea would be to throw blunder bombs or take snipes at the people below. And since you've got that high ground spot, it's going to be a lot harder for them to predict where you are and fire back. Now, a way to counter this, you can actually run to the back behind the map table, and through this guardrail right here, you can actually see the upper parts of the mast. So if someone's up there trying to snipe you or throw blunder bombs at you, you can usually fight them off this way, and it's a lot harder for them to see you. Now, moving on from the sloop, brigs are a lot different when it comes to the mast scrapping. The main mast of a brig cannot be stood on reliably. You're not going to be able to run up this mast like on the sloop, but it can still be a valuable tool if you know how to use it. Well, if you're extremely lucky, you might actually be able to stand on the mast for a second. Oh, I'm actually standing on the mast right now. On the brig mast.
You're
Which way
cheating.
can you stand on the brig mast?
I think it's the wave. Yeah.
Now, when it comes to the front mast, you can actually step on about every surface of this as well. It's basically like an extended platform you can use that people might not expect you to be out on, but it doesn't give you quite the high ground that the sloop's mast will. So the Galleon's a lot like the brig, in the sense that the main mast, in this case the middle mast, can't be run up. You can't climb on this mast the same way you can on the sloop. Now the front mast on the Galleon, like the brig's front mast, can be used as an extended platform you can run out on and reload your gun or eat food. You also can't step on this part right here. This little thin part, don't try to step on it. Now the back mast is actually my favorite out of the three, since you have the sail portions to hide behind. You can use these to kind of stay unpredictable and keep people guessing where you are. Although just like the other masts, you can definitely fall off this one very easily. Out of these three, I'd say the sloop is by far the most valuable and can turn the tide in a lot of fights if you know how to use it. But to those of you who've seen this who might not have known about this, I hope this is also a good way to prepare you to defend against this, and hopefully you can catch them off guard by maybe even following them up the mast to attack them. And that's just about it. If you guys have any questions or comments, please let me know below. I'll try to be reading and answering anything that I can. And I'll be back soon with some more tips just like this one. Peace.